one thing I know for sure is that BTS Army is always going to stand on business no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've talked about this in my previous reaction videos or just like me just giving my opinion on this group, and I told you guys like Army is the definition of like a fan base. You know what I mean? People who actually respect an artist. You know what I mean? Not just only holding them up to a point where like they idolize them and just like expect certain stuff of them. They actually, mindfully think of them as also human beings. You know what I mean? And with the things that have been going on with the Argus D or Sugar of BTS, they had to show up, man. So we're gonna be reacting to a video of their K-pop nuke drop. It's called "The Last 48 Hours Army Takes Over the World." Korean media powerless, and that goes to my video that I recently dropped. Like, is the South Korean media being exposed right now because of this, unprofessionalism that they're showcasing, and like it just becomes this thing that is just also running within the culture. So let's check it out. Let's see what they gotta say. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let's get it. Oh yeah.
Hey everyone! Get
Hello.
ready because today, we're diving into one of the most phenomenal moments in BTS history, and it all happened within the last 48 hours.
I know.
Suga of BTS found himself at the center of a shocking controversy, accused of driving under the influence. Korean media seemed eager to capitalize on this, but what unfolded next was nothing short.
I love how like this individual used capitalized because that's the only perfect word that can just describe that. You know what I mean? People can call it clickbait, whatever you want to call it, clouding. But I feel like capitalizing is the only way to like perfectly describe it in terms of like gaining views and also making money off that when it's crazy, man.
Sort of extraordinary. ARMY didn't just sit back. They took control of the narrative and
Fuck yeah.
dominated two of the world's largest platforms, Naver and X. How did they do it? Let's explore the entire timeline of events in depth and see how ARMY proved their true power.
Let's see it, man. Hey. Woo. What?
This story begins with the sudden appearance of alarming news, accusing Suga of BTS of being involved in
That's like the crazy part is like I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but like these are just the frustrating like pointers in this whole thing. Like I tell you, it's the fact that it became an investigation, you know, and even after it did become an investigation, how did it become like something that was already known to the public? You know what I mean? It's like the cops wanted this to be known. It wasn't like, oh, there was a reporter there that saw everything and like, wrote about it. It's like it's an investigation. It happened in public, but only the cops were the only one there. So how did it go to an extent where like it's a whole nation, thing? That's what I was saying. Like the cop did a poor job, or like just the whole nation of people who were involved in this investigation did a poor job of like actually keep it in the room, and then after the facts are like presented, then yeah, they can disclose it or not. It's like there's level to this and like this professionalism that you gotta keep.
In a DUI incident. The news quickly spread across various media outlets,
Right.
especially in Korea, which appeared to seize this opportunity to attack BTS. The Korean media, often skeptical of BTS's success abroad, seemed to see this as the perfect moment to amplify the issue and draw attention. But what happened next was completely unexpected. ARMY, known for their loyalty and intelligence, didn't stand idly by. Within minutes of the news breaking, they mobilized to turn the situation around. Instead of getting trapped in the negative narrative crafted by the media, ARMY decided to shift the world's focus to something more positive. They began promoting one of Suga's older tracks, an 8-year-old song, across various music platforms.
That's dope, honestly. And like, as they were talking about this pointers and like what the army did, I was saying like, haven't this group literally brought the whole country and the whole nation attention to the world. You know what I mean? In terms of like it being known, of it producing capable beings. You know what I mean? Like this guys are known to like nationwide. You know, in terms of like impacting the song that they write, the message that they have behind it. Like it's so impactful and like it's the definition of art. You know, and like all they always do is just talk about it. You know, and they're bringing awareness to shit that are happening in this country too. So it's like out of all the people, you know, it's like it's
Through
crazy.
their collective efforts, the song suddenly skyrocketed to the top of the charts in multiple countries, an
Just
achievement that was not only incredible but also deeply meaningful.
right.
This was concrete evidence that ARMY can turn any situation into a victory. To truly grasp the impact of what ARMY has accomplished,
Mm.
we need to look back at BTS's journey from the beginning. BTS wasn't a group that gained popularity overnight, and their path to success was filled with countless challenges. In their early
I feel like this is something that every artist here, you know, as they grow large in the industry, is like you're always gonna have a target on your back. But to say you're gonna have a target on your back like this, you know, in terms of like your own nation and like the media, that is to be expected from them. But like just like a whole nation, you know, it's like against you. You know what I mean? And this toxic division among like band group and idols and just the expectation of this individual, you know, it's like that's the last thing you will think like they had in mind, like, oh, I'm gonna have the target on my back, but it's gonna come from my own people. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy that this is the kind of stuff that is happening right now and like literally being displayed worldwide. It's not just only within the nation too. It's like I'm literally on top of this shit because you know it's like something that I find on Twitter and all that and on
days,
YouTube.
Big Hit Entertainment, the agency behind BTS, was on the brink of bankruptcy. Without the support of the Korean media, which often ignored them, BTS had to find other ways to gain public attention. They chose to focus on direct interaction with their fans, building an international fanbase through platforms like YouTube and Weverse.
That's
This
crazy, man.
decision proved to be incredibly wise. When BTS finally broke into the North American market, they did so without the backing of major media outlets. They chose instead to communicate directly with their fans through live streams, fan meetings,
Mm.
and exclusive social media content.
And I feel like I did a video reaction to like at the beginning when like you know City Magazine was talking about, you know, the struggle that they had when they were upcoming. And I literally told you, these individuals are not your typical, oh, you know, your regular, you know, cultured, you know, individual who do it the, you know, like the non-cultured way. Like they prefer to do it the way that they feel like it's right. And if everything is against them, like how like the media wasn't promoting them when they came and like there was no support, they went their way and like found a way, you know, in terms of like interacting face to face with the fans. And I feel like that's like untraditional, you know what I mean? No artists usually do that, but they did that and it worked for them, right? And I feel like that and more other stuff put target on them, you know, in terms of like, oh, you can actually work around this media, you know, this media isn't the only thing that exists, you know, to your success. That's literally what they made open to the world, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't supporting them, so they went the other way, and now it's literally out for them. So it furthermore proved their point, like, eh, nothing here is for you, man. It's
This
crazy.
approach was vastly different from other K-pop groups, who typically rely on media coverage to promote their music. BTS, on the other hand, built a strong bond with ARMY, a relationship that was far more personal and direct. When we talk about BTS as global icons,
Mm.
we have to understand that their success didn't happen by chance. They've worked tirelessly to
Aw.
reach their current position, and they've done so in a unique and revolutionary way. Even as the Korean media continued to underestimate them, BTS remained focused on
Like, look at this freaking titles, man. Like, media bullying a culture. You know what I mean? Like, how does a media bully, you know? Like, that's like kind of titles that you rarely hear, but it's crazy that you're seeing it here. You know what I mean? And they were doing this to them when they were like, these guys weren't even like at the legal age. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, but like to my knowledge, these guys were like so young, like finishing up high school and shit like that. That's when they started, and like they had all of this against them, but they made it work somehow. You know what I mean? So they've
On
been
their
it's been them
fans
against the
and
world,
kept
man.
creating music that resonates worldwide. They no longer needed traditional media to gain recognition. Instead, they used the power of social media to build their own empire. But perhaps the most impressive aspect is how ARMY responds to every challenge faced by BTS. In the last 48 hours, we've witnessed how ARMY successfully took control of two of the world's largest platforms, Naver and X, over a single issue. They didn't just manage to strip traditional media of its power, but they also manipulated algorithms on these platforms to benefit BTS. This demonstrates just how influential ARMY is in today's digital world. The Korean
And you see, that's like one thing I love about army is the fact that they already know how this shit goes down. You know what I mean? It's like you fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna use one of the BTS member to gain clout, we're gonna use clout that you got to reattract it to, them. You know what I mean? That's literally what they did. It's like this cloud that is like overshadowing this individual as a bad thing, for you guys to gain something. We're gonna also use it so they can also gain something out of it, and like it brought them back on the chat, even though it's been 80 years since that song released. You know what I mean? It's like that's the influence you want from your fan base, and that's literally what they're doing. Like,
media, which once held so much power in shaping public opinion, now has to face the reality that they no longer have full control over the narrative.
it's a sad reality, but that's where
What's
we're heading
even
to.
more fascinating is that ARMY also managed to take down social media accounts that were spreading false news about suga. This wasn't just a reactive move, but a clever and organized strategy. They've shown that they can act swiftly and effectively in defending BTS's reputation. This is proof that online communities hold significant power and can influence the direction of news in ways we've never seen before.
If every fan base was like the army, I feel like we'll be living in a better world, in terms of like social media just always being toxic and just the media outlet. You know what I mean? Like people like this fans need to exist everywhere, every corner, so this kind of nonsense can just be shut down and humble right away. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's just getting to a point where like it's normalized. You know what I mean? It's like it's exhausting.
Another crucial point to consider in this event is that future experts will undoubtedly study how media power shifted in these 48 hours. How ARMY managed to turn the tide and flip the narrative to their advantage is something worth emulating. This is an important lesson for anyone who wants to understand how online communities can become an incredibly influential force. ARMY has shown that they are not just fans, but a force capable of controlling the global narrative.
I mean, it literally just goes back to, like how BTS as individual, like they saw they weren't getting the support of the media, so they switched to online and like actually build that fan base to a point where like it's direct, and personal. So I feel like through that relationship, you kind of learn each other, and like I feel like Army has done a great job of understanding this individual and like how the media work and like how that attraction just affects everything, and like influence a lot of stuff. So I feel like Army has really done a good job of like studying and actually understanding these people and just the world around them, honestly.
When the Korean media did their worst by spreading baseless news, ARMY responded in the most elegant way possible. They stripped traditional media of its power, controlled algorithms on two of the largest global platforms, and even removed accounts attempting to damage BTS's reputation. This was a decisive victory that demonstrated that Korean media, especially those spreading lies, no longer hold power. They can't influence BTS, and they can't stand against ARMY. In the end, they only proved that they are nothing compared to the power of ARMY.
Isn't it crazy how like people who actually went to school to do this media outlet thing are bad and not professional in what they do, but a fan base that is mainly just used to, watching those individuals, studying them, understanding them, and like get to them on a personal level actually does a better job of like protecting this individual image and make sure it's a safe space for everybody. It's crazy to me that army is capable of doing this, but like somebody who has studied and got a degree or master's in this can't even do a simple job.
So, what can we learn from all of this? Army has shown the world that the true power lies in their hands, not in traditional media. With incredible teamwork, creativity, and dedication, they've managed to shift the narrative and prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. BTS and ARMY have now surpassed the influence of Korean media and become a global phenomenon recognized worldwide. The last 48 hours are proof that their power cannot be ignored, and this is just the beginning.
Facts. It's like you just can't, you know what I mean? And like it's so stupid that a lot of people are like wishing the worst to this guy, you know what I mean? In terms of like, oh, you had to come and, apologize in front of camera. You got like, bro, like, what? Are you serious right now? Like, you just don't have anything better in your life than seeing somebody else like doing something that they shouldn't be doing? They've already done enough.
Guys, this is a moment we won't soon forget. ARMY has made history in a way we've never seen before. They've shown incredible power and solidarity, proving
He's
that they
wearing
are not
contacts,
just
right?
fans, but a force that controls the global narrative. Now, I want to know your thoughts on how ARMY handled this negative news. Do you agree that this is the future of social media and a new way to control the narrative? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course,
That's a good question.
if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest in the world of K-pop and BTS.
Hey, you all go subscribe to K-pop Nuke, okay? Like they seem like they didn't like know what kind of content they're dropping, and I'm here for it, man. But you guys let me know in the comment, like with the question that they ask at the end of it. Personally, I feel like it could be an effective way to like handle all this negativity on the social media outlet, but it's just different if it's just only a specific group of fans or like individuals are doing it. You know what I mean? It has to be like something that majority of the people on social media actually do and agree with, but I feel like that's impossible with the social media. It's like it's always negative, you know what I mean? But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction and my points on this. And like, if you also want to check out the full video, go check out K-pop Noob. And yeah, I'm gonna see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and peace.